of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Valdez works quickly. The 1-1 is hammered deep to left field, way back and gone. Welcome back, big fella. Well, that didn't take long.
Oh my goodness! First live pitching he's seen in a week, and the first swing that he takes, he plays long ball. Oh, he's a beast.
Last night, Miguel Cabrera returned to the lineup with an exclamation point, and as a result, the Tigers today go for the sweep as we welcome you to downtown Detroit. Final game of the series between the Phillies and the Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here today, and I don't know what else we could say, Ron. This guy's awfully special, but another special moment at the ballpark last night.
I mean, how in the world do you take 4 days off and then the first pitch you see, you play long ball with? I guess that's what you do if you're Miguel Cabrera. He is not 100%, but I like the fact that Jim is trusting him enough not to overdo it in this ball game here today. He's not 100%, though.
All right, well, he's still better than most, and he'll be in the lineup today for Rick Porcello, who is really having himself a pretty good month of July, and it's good to see because Rick now is starting to put it together.
You know, he is pitching like he is a top of the rotation kind of guy, not your number 5 guy in the rotation. He's got that real good sink piece at about 90 to 91. He can dial up to 95 and change the eye level, which he's done quite a bit of this year. He also has that good curveball. He has a great changeup. He's mixing in all of his pitches. He walked 3 batters in his last outing. First time all year Porcello has walked 3 batters in the game. So expect him to fill up that strike zone with lots of strikes and get quite a few ground balls and allow his defenders to work behind him.
After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios in Mickey York. Coming up today, Tigers going for the sweep. Final game of the series, Phillies Tigers, coming up next. Tigers and the Phillies. Michael Young in the lineup today for the Phils. He is being rumored to be on the trading block as well as we approach the trading deadline. The lineup for the Phillies presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It is Rollins, Young, and Utley at the top. Utley is your DH today. Darren Ruff batting cleanup, and Franson and Mayberry, a bottom three of Nix, Ruiz, and Sustorf for the Philadelphia Phillies, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Rick Porcello, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Porcello is making his 19th start of this season. He has won 7 games. He's lost 6. The earned run average at .449. He's got a really good sinker. He gets tons of ground balls. Also getting more strikeouts this year than he has in the past.
Well, the sun is doing its best to try and peek through the clouds here this afternoon. The Tigers and the Phillies starting this one at 64 degrees at game time temperature. And the first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Jimmy Rollins. Rollins batting in the leadoff slot today. He had been batting lower in the lineup, third in fact in the first 2 games. Cabrera in tight at third base on the grass in case Rollins is thinking bunt, and he takes the ball down low. Did not go, said Paul Schreiber.
Charlie Manuel, the manager of the Phillies, lost his leadoff hitter, Ben Revere, when Revere went on the disabled list.
There's Miggy on the grass at third base. And is pulled right to the first baseman. And Martinez makes the play.
You mentioned Martinez is anchored over at first base today. Prince fielder is the designated hitter Don Kelly. Also spelling Torrey Hunter at the start of this contest with the scheduled day off tomorrow. Torrey Hunter will get back-to-back days off.
Anytime Victor has gone out and played first base this year, he's acquitted himself quite well. Here is Michael Young, who is 5 for 13 against Porcello in his career. And he looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
Philadelphia Phillies in the first 2 games of the series have been able to do literally nothing against Tigers pitching. Max and also Doug Fister a couple days ago.
Phillies are banged up from an offensive standpoint, but still just 6 hits in the first 2 games for Charlie Manuel's crew. In his 9th season as Phillies manager, 4 wins shy of 1,000 in his career. Bouncing ball, going to find a hole, base hit.
Michael Young has made a really nice career of doing just that. A base hit between first and second.
Be the Phillies' first hit of the game, and now bring up number 3 hitter Chase Utley. He's the designated hitter today, 0 for 6 so far in the series for Utley. Tigers with wins of 2-1 and 10-0. They jumped all over Phillies starter last night, Valdez, and knocked him out early. Well, it turned out to be a laugher. Utley looks at a ball, 1-0. Chase batting .277's had a lot of power in his career, 13 homers this year. 3 times in his career he's hit better than 30 home runs.
Here's where Rick Porcello is at his best, throwing ground balls. In his major league career, he has thrown 2 ground balls for every fly ball. No doubt looking for the double play ball off the bat of Chase Utley's bat here. He has already grounded into 6 this year. Infielders up the middle, Santiago and Peralta playing double play depth.
Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the Phillies come in having lost 7 consecutive games, and they've also lost 3 straight series. They are reeling right now. We mentioned just 6 hits in the first 2 games in this set.
They played St. Louis before they came here. And then when they leave Comerica Park, they have to go play the first place Atlanta Braves in their division.
It's a tough stretch for the Phils. 1 ball, 1 strike. Driven to center field. Jackson is on the move. 2 gone. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on the Phillies and how they've done on the road. Get the Bernstein advantage, we go to bat for you, and it's on the road is where they've really struggled.
57 overall road games this year, which is the most in the majors. And they've lost a lot of those contests.
34 of them, which is tied for second most in the major leagues. The ERA is high, runs per game low. Here's Darren Ruff, 296 hitter. He's had a double in this series, and it's in for strike one. Ruff having a birthday today. It's 27th. Had a lot of birthdays in this series. From Max yesterday.
Benoit the day before that.
Here's the 0-1, and Porcello was about to bring it home, and a late time given to Darren Ruff. One on Ruff. Bouncing ball to second. Santiago has it there, and the inning is over. So no damage, no runs and a hit, one man left. We go to the bottom of the first. Jim Leland has turned in his lineup card. It looks like this. It is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jackson, Kelly, Cabrera at the top. Donnie playing right field for Torrey Hunter today. Fielder is your DH Victor at first base. Then Peralta, Dirks, Avila, Santiago, your bottom three. And they are facing Jonathan Pettibone.
And Pettibone, for the most part, every time he goes out there, gives his squad a legitimate chance of winning a game. He's won 5 games, lost 4. The earned run average is sub 4. 65 strikeouts for Pettibone. 34 base on balls. His out pitch is his changeup. He also has a fastball that will get up to 94 miles an hour.
Jackson looks at a strike from Pettibone. AJ at 268, 6 homers, 25 RBIs. Tigers put up 10 runs last night. The Phillies have allowed 10 or more runs 10 separate times this year. Jackson trying to get it going here against the Southern California native Jonathan Pettibone, who hails from Placentia, California. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pettibone goes 6'6", 225. He was drafted out of high school.
Nice pitcher's body.
Ball high, and the count goes to 3-1. Kelly to follow, and then Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 3-1, and he missed outside. A leadoff walk to Austin Jackson.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the Philadelphia Phillies starting defense here this afternoon. Susdorf, Mayberry, Nix in the outfield, Rupp, Franson, Rollins, and Michael Young in the infield, and Carlos Ruiz is the catcher here today.
Here is Don Kelly batting in the 2 slot. Torrey Hunter getting the day off. And the runner goes right away. Bouncing ball to second. Franson will throw him out. Advance the runner. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera.
And last night, first swing that Miguel Cabrera took off of Raul Valdez. He trotted around the bases with his 31st homer.
'99 RBIs for Miguel Cabrera. And a .361 batting average. Knocked in 3 in the ball game last night. So his next RBI will be number 100. Ball outside 1-0. It's amazing too, because last year Cabrera, as you know, won the Triple Crown. On July 28th last year, he had 83 RBIs. We've got 99 right now. Here's a strike called, 1-1. Starting third baseman for the All-Star team this year. And low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Cabrera has also taken over the league lead in hits from Manny Machado, 136 now for 135 for Machado. And really, there aren't too many offensive categories that Cabrera does not lead in, and Pettibone is pitching very cautiously to him, 3-1. Cabrera, Machado, and Trout, your top 3. I guess Trout was no fluke, huh?
Not at all.
And he lost him, ball 4. 2 walks in the inning now for Pettibone. And Charlie Manuel can't like the way this one is starting.
These are the situations where Prince Fielder excels. Runners in scoring position. If you throw on the first pitch strike, he's going to be swinging at it, and has had a lot of success at swinging at first pitches this year when he puts it in play. The batting average is well above 350 for Prince Fielder.
No chance to swing at that ball. Low and in, 1-0. .318 following a Cabrera walk this year for Fielder. Pettibone has had trouble with the base on balls. In fact, 9 of them in his last 11 1/3. And he's going to try and pitch around 2 of them here in the first inning. Right back up the middle, but Rollins has it there. Awkward flip to second, 1, and they get the double play. Franson with a turn at second base. It goes 6-4-3.
of your screen. Ryan Sandberg, who handles the infielders here for the Philadelphia Phillies, had him placed perfectly, able to go over and grab that ground ball right up the middle, get it to his second baseman, and allowed them to turn the double play.
Nicely done on that awkward backhanded flip. Franson with a beauty of a turn at second, and so the Tigers are turned away, unable to take advantage of a couple of walks. And it's Franson to lead it off here in the second against Rick Porcello. Franson, then Mayberry, and then Nix in inning number 2. 1 for 8 in the series for Kevin Franson, batting .272 this year. In for a strike, 1-1. Porcello has had a quality start in 4 consecutive games. Sends home the 1-1 pitch. 1 attempt. 1-2 on Franson. Franson struggling a bit of late, just 1 for his last 13 at bats. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Franson this year has also been a really good pinch hitter, which obviously is more of a factor, I think, in the National League. But he's had 12 pinch hits this year, 10 RBIs in a pinch hitting role. And a bouncing ball to second. Santiago ranging left. Franson is out, 1 gone. Another ground ball out for Rick Porcello. We'll bring up John Mayberry Jr. Played in the first game of the series, was 0 for 4, batting .254. Mayberry can play all of the outfield positions and has for the Phillies. He's also played some first base, and we've mentioned a couple of times on the broadcast that Ryan Howard out 6 to 8 weeks with a knee problem, knee surgery. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mayberry.
John Mayberry Jr. also has something that a lot of major league players do not have, and that's their college degrees. A political science degree that he got from Stanford in 2006.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
There are not a lot of guys that are playing big league baseball that have actually gone on to complete their college degrees once they get drafted.
So a lot of guys go to school and then they get into professional baseball and then decide, well, I'll finish up at a later time, but really never do. There's a wave and a miss.
You know, Curtis Granderson, who wore our uniform for a number of years, he was a double major.
Two and 2 on Mayberry. Trying to get something started here with 1 gone in the second. Mayberry was actually drafted in the first round twice, but decided to pass it up the first time, which obviously that comes with a whole lot of money. But he went to Stanford instead, got his degree, and became a first-round pick again. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off at home plate.
Even though you tell that team going into the draft that you're more than likely 100% sure you're going to go to college, especially when you're getting a scholarship from Stanford, there are still some teams out there that will gamble and draft you really high and offer you a lot of money.
Hoping that that contract can sway your decision. Justin Verlander, first-round pick to Old Dominion. There's another foul at home plate. That one bit of Vila. 3-2. The count stays on John Mayberry.
Rick Porcello knows something about being a high-round draft choice himself. He was the #1 draft choice.
And he was headed to North Carolina. Of course, the Tar Heels have a tremendous baseball program. But he turned pro, started his professional career at a young age. Fifth major league season for John Mayberry Jr. Outside, lost him. First walk of the ball game for Rick. 1 on, 1 out. He'll bring up Lance Nix. Nix is hitless in the series, 0 for 6, batting 178. Porcello walked 3 in his last start. First time all year that he walked as many as 3 in a single start. That's in there, strike 1. Rick this afternoon in search of his 8th victory of the season. Came in at 7-6. Foul. 0-2 the count. We're talking about how Porcello's strikeout numbers are up. Rick on pace for 127 punch-outs. Last year he established a career high with 107. But his bread and butter, of course, remains getting the ground balls.
I was talking to Jeff Jones before Porcello's last start in Chicago. And I was asking him why so many strikeouts this year. He said, well, we got rid of the slider. The slider was not a good pitch for Porcello last year. As a matter of fact, he gave up a lot of hits on the slider. So they eliminated that pitch. Now the curveball and the changeup, to go along with the added velocity of the fastball, has allowed him to rack up quite a few strikeouts. Career pace for him.
Runner goes on 0-2. Bouncing ball to short. And Peralta has only 1 play. That's to first base.
Wise decision there by Charlie Manuel, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, knowing that Porcello throws tons of ground balls. He allowed Mayberry Jr. to vacate first base, and it allows him to stay out of a double play, which would have ended the inning.
Instead, it keeps it going now for Carlos Ruiz. One for 3 in the opener. Did not catch last night. Back in there today. And Ruiz looks at a breaking ball strike.
That's what the curveball has allowed Porcello to do. Get ahead of a lot of hitters this year simply by throwing it on the very first pitch of an at-bat. And most big league hitters will not swing at a hanging breaking ball on the very first pitch of an at-bat. Most guys are looking for a fastball.
Wave and a miss. So now Rick gets ahead 0-2. Breaking ball fastball here to Ruiz.
Scherzer had a good curveball last night. Pfister had an outstanding curveball on Friday, and it looks like Porcello has brought that pitch with him as well this afternoon.
That might have been the best curveball we've seen Pfister throw in a bit.
Agreed.
And he was really good.
Agreed.
What a job last night by Max Scherzer, who won his 15th to go to 15-1.
Only 75 pitches thrown by Max Scherzer last night. By far the fewest he's thrown all season.
7 strikeouts, no walks for Max in that ball game. The 0-2 is looped down the left field line. It's a foul ball. Barely foul.
I don't know if there's been more drastic a transformation than Max Scherzer. I mean, we're talking about a guy just a year ago in the first half of the season. We were wondering whether he could ever repeat his delivery, whether he would ever be able to throw strikes consistently. And he has gone out this year and done some things that many people never thought Max would be able to do.
Well, consistently, I guess, is the key phrase. That's back up the middle into center field, base hit. Mayberry rounding third. He will score. And it's a 2-out RBI single for Carlos Ruiz. The Phillies have a 1-0 lead. So by staying out of the double play, they kept the inning going, and Ruiz able to come through.
It's a fastball that stays up, and Ruiz hit it right back where it came from. No play on John Mayberry Jr., who was on second base and got a pretty good jump and break off of second.
So the Phillies score first here today. The ball that gets away from Avila, but not far enough. 1-0 on Steve Susdorf, the number 9 hitter.
Susdorf played his college ball at Fresno State University, the same college that Doug Fister went to.
Yeah, Susdorf played on a NCAA championship team there in 08. Ball missing low. 2-0. Getting an opportunity to play in the big leagues. He is 0 for 3 so far in his big league career this year. Was just called up a couple of days ago when Dominic Brown was placed on the disabled list with a concussion.
This is his first major league start.
Starting in left today for the Phillies. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball, second base. Santiago has it, and the inning is over. Phillies get a run, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. Of the second here at the ballpark. And hey, today, by the way, Hall of Fame induction at Cooperstown. No players this year. We have some guys that were from, well, a ways back, I guess we'll put it. Jacob Rupert, the Yankees owner, in the early 1900s, inducted. Deacon White, who played in the 1800s, and Hank O'Day was an umpire who worked 10 World Series. They are the Hall of Fame inductees this year by the Veterans Committee. It's kind of odd not to see any players going in. 1965, the last time you didn't have a living player inducted into the Hall of Fame. That was the case this year.
Well, there's a lot of guys on the ballot that put up Hall of Fame numbers, but of course, a lot of those guys played in the steroid era and are being punished because of that.
Victor Martinez leading it off. Pettybones 0-1. Tapped foul. No balls, 2 strikes. And I guess we had a feeling that might happen. The writers deciding that they're just not quite ready to vote some of those folks into the Hall of Fame. 0-2. Pettibone gave up a couple of walks in the first, but got out of it with a double play. Breaking ball bends outside.
Pettibone's dad played in the major leagues. His dad's name is Jay. He spent some time with the Minnesota Twins. He was a pitcher as well.
His dad played for Charlie Manuel in the minor leagues.
Back in 1984, he played for Charlie Manuel in Double-A.
The 1-2 is inside.
And Jonathan actually asked his dad for some advice on Charlie Manuel. What kind of guy is he? And his dad, Jay, told him, he said, well, he's a player's manager for one. And if you think you can understand him when he speaks now, you should have heard him back in 1984. Couldn't understand a word he said.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Martinez. Drilled to center field. Mayberry coming on to make the catch.
And anybody that's had any...
That is funny.
Anybody that's been able to spend any time around Charlie Manuel at all, you know exactly what he's talking about. He is one of the beloved men in the game of baseball. I love Charlie.
He is awesome, but yeah, there are times we really have to listen. But I mean, if you think about it, Charlie was asked what he remembered about Pettibone's dad, Jay, who pitched for him. Now, keep in mind, this is, what did you say, 84?
84.
And right off the top of his mind, he said, yeah, sinker slider guy. I mean, with all the guys I'm sure he's managed through the years, to be able to remember that.
One thing about Charlie, he is a manager now and a very good manager, and he's had success. But he was a great, and I mean great, hitting coach. He was a hitting coach when they were putting up all those numbers in Cleveland.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, they were an offensive juggernaut. Charlie's contract up at the end of this year.
Oh, he'll find a job somewhere if he wants to work.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what he has said. I mean, people have asked, well, what if you are not invited back to the Phillies next year? He said, well, I'll be in baseball. He probably made a few contacts along the way. 2 balls, no strikes. Jim Leland and Emmanuel go back a long, long way. That's rolled to third. Michael Young will throw out Peralta. 2 gone. Jim, as a matter of fact, played against Charlie Manuel in the minor leagues. That's how far back they go.
Charlie Manuel spent some time over in Japan, playing over there, having a lot of success.
Two up, 2 down. Here's Andy Dirks. Strike 1. Dirks at 245 this year, 1 for 4 in the series. And he's down to the count now, 0-2.
And here's where Pettibone likes his changeup to the left-handed batters. It fades down and away to the left-handers. Dirks was able to lay off of it, though.
Avila waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. 1 run, 2 hits for the Phillies. They took the lead in the top of the second on the RBI single by Carlos Ruiz.
Another packed house at Comerica Park today. Ballpark's looking lovely.
Again, the 1-2, and it missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tigers this year averaging 37,217 fans. And there's usually not too many tickets to be had. Bouncing ball to second. It'll be routine for Franson. The Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the second. We go to the third. Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Up a vein last night.
Yeah, he blew a gasket. 3-0 pitch. He wanted timeout. Timmons did not give him timeout. And then on top of that, Timmons called that pitch a strike. David Ortiz would later strike out. And then when he got back to the dugout,
Oh, my goodness.
Big Poppy. Never seen him like that.
I haven't either.
You see Dustin Pedroia sitting in the background there?
Shielding himself. That phone was just absolutely destroyed.
Apparently it still worked. They still made a call to the bullpen later on in the game.
Well, here is Jimmy Rollins starting things off. There are some guys that you're just absolutely stunned to see that.
I was listening to Big Poppy's comments after that.
Slap to left field. Dirks backing up now.
And he simply felt like Tim Timmons disrespected him. One, by not giving him timeout, then by calling the 3-0 pitch a strike, which was a ball. Now, you don't know what exchanges went on verbally, but that was David Ortiz's explanation. He just felt like he was disrespected there. He also said, I'm a DH. I mean, this is all I get to do is hit, right? I can't go in the field and make plays. This is what I do, and you're taking my at-bats away.
Here's Michael Young. Fouled off 0-1 on Young. Well, the 3-0 pitch was definitely a ball that was called a strike. But here's, watch Pedroia.
Dude, I just got $100 million. I want to see some of that.
Later, though, and we didn't have the footage on this, Pedroia really got in on Ortiz and grabbed him by the shirt and said, all right, enough. Slow down here. The 0-1. Bouncing ball to third. Miggy with the play. 2 gone. Time for a game break now. We go to Mickey York. Sorry, Shannon. My apologies.
Mickey's voice has changed.
Looks a whole lot better, too.
You said that.
Here is Chase Utley. Ball high, 1-0 on Utley, who fly to center field back in the first. 276 batting average. Utley being utilized as the DH today. Here in the American League Park, the National Leaguers get the DH. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike on Utley. Out 4 weeks with an oblique problem this year, but Utley still enough at bats to put up decent numbers. Now the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Only run of the game scored by the Phillies in the second. It was the RBI hit by Ruiz, and so far it has held up. Porcello in search of the 1-2-3 third. Here is Rick's 2-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. 2-2 now on Chase Utley, who has made it a habit of getting hit by pitches over his career 154 times, which is first all time in Phillies history. Porcello trying to finish him off. And he does. Utley goes down, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Porcello has his first strikeout of the game. By Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram Trucks now get a great summer deal on a Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance event. And by Imes Dog Food, the delicious taste he loves without the additives he doesn't. Park Plaza here on a cloudy afternoon in the Motor City. It is 64 degrees right now, but fans are loving it. A little bit cool and overcast today, but still a nice day for baseball. And Alex Avila will lead things off, then Santiago and Jackson. We're in the Tiger third inning. Jonathan Pettibone had a 1-2-3 second. In for strike one right at the knees of Avila. 3 out of 7 in the series for Alex, the average at 193. Tigers still searching for their first hit today. They had a couple of walks against Pettibone in the first. Drill to center field. Mayberry's on the run. Still going back. Not going to get it up over the wall and into the seats. There's your first hit. It's a ground rule double. Seems like he's at his best when he goes the other way, isn't he?
No doubt. He did that a couple nights ago against the starter of the Philadelphia Phillies, Cole Hamels. He got a changeup from Cole Hamels, hit it into left center field over the head of Mayberry Jr. That time he takes a Pettibone pitch and rips it to the same area.
Tying run now at second base, nobody out.
And Santiago may as well bunt him over.
Foul ball, 0-1.
Make sure you get the job done. Get him over to third base with less than 2 outs.
Sack bunts for Santiago. Leadoff double by Avila. Here's the 0-1. Sliced through a base hit. Avila will stop at third. Santiago not only advances the runner, but he's aboard.
Perfectly done by Ramon Santiago. First attempted bunt, and then you bring the third baseman in a couple of steps. And then you slice one right by him.
Second hit of the series for Santiago. So the Tigers in good shape now as Jackson stands in. Tigers yesterday were getting it done with men in scoring position. They were 4 for 9 in that ball game, which ended up being a 10-0 Detroit victory. Strike call to the outside corner. Jackson had a quick look back for home plate umpire Chad Fairchild.
Borderline strike.
Fouled away. 1-2. Tigers this year against National League opponents 6-5. The Phillies are 7-12 in interleague play. Tigers winning the first 2 in this series.
Jackson's going to have to stay off that high fastball. A lot of teams have taken the liberty of elevating fastballs against Jackson lately.
Two and two. Don Kelly waiting on deck. A couple of hits for the Tigers to begin things here in the third, down 1-0. Missed it inside. Now it goes 3-2.
Tough decision here for Jim. If you allow Santiago to run and Jackson strikes out, Ruiz might just throw him out. And you got Miguel lurking. You want to make sure Mickey gets to the plate in this inning with runners in scoring position. And we'll see what Jim does.
Runner holds. And he walked him to load the bases. Third walk of the game for Pettibone. A close pitch, didn't get the call though. Now Don Kelly will stand in. And Kelly takes ball one high. Since the beginning of June, Kelly hitting at a .333 clip, which has brought his average up over the 200 mark.
That average should go up just a tick because he's going to get himself a really good fastball to hit right here.
And it's in for a strike. 1-1 the count. Leadoff double by Avila. Santiago singles. Jackson walks. And still nobody out. Missed it inside. 2-1. .364 this year for Don, with men in scoring position.
We told you that Pettibone's out pitch is his changeup, but he's having a difficult time of getting to that pitch because he's created so many difficult counts for himself.
And this is another one. 3-1 now with the bases loaded.
Now, if Don Kelly gets another fastball down the middle and takes it, I will be shocked.
He's not taken, but he pops it up. Third base side. This is going to be a big out. Infield fly rule. Batter is automatically out. And the runners hold. One gone. However, here comes Miguel Cabrera. And he's only hitting a cool .417 with the bases loaded.
Yeah, Pettibone's got no place to put Mickey now.
Four grand slams in Cabrera's career. Miguel walked in the first inning. And he takes strike one in the outside corner. Miguel thought that might have been a little bit high. Are you sure he's acting Chad Fairchild? No balls, one strike. In there for strike two. And the conversation continues. Oh, he's been thrown out. Seriously?
Oh my goodness.
Are you kidding me?
Chad Fairchild, we did not come here to watch you today.
Oh my goodness. He threw him out. And Cabrera, we don't know what he said, but certainly was not demonstrative. Keep in mind, Chad Fairchild was the home plate umpire when the Tigers and White Sox had their little mini scuffle.
He threw Jim out of the game that day, and I don't know, but Jim might get run again.
Well, I just don't know how you throw Cabrera out here. And there you go. Unbelievable. Cabrera took issue with the first pitch and the second one as well, but was nowhere near being demonstrative about it. And the best player of the game has just gotten thrown out in the middle of an at-bat with the bases loaded. And now Leland, who also has been thrown out of the game, well, he's not going to go quietly here, and I don't blame him.
That's horrible.
Holy cow. Well, you talk about a quick hook on Cabrera. That is just unbelievable. So Miggy's been tossed. Leland's been tossed. And Jim's going to be out there a while, I think. Trying to remember the last time anything remotely like that happened.
I can't, and I don't know for sure, but I can't ever remember Mickey being kicked out of a game, period.
Yeah, certainly not under these circumstances. Bases loaded 0-2. Now, did he beef? Yes. Do we know what he said to Fairchild? No. But it must have been something to get thrown out of this game. Wow.
And Jim now barking at the crew chief, Eric Cooper, second base umpire.
So Leland now will get a standing O from the huge crowd in attendance here. But we'll see how this changes the course of this game.
Here's the first two pitches that Cabrera had a beef with Chad Fairchild on. Felt like that was a ball up and out. And the second pitch was an identical pitch that was called a strike as well by Chad Fairchild.
Wow. Just a simple gone. Well, Tuiasa Sopo is going to finish this at bat. And to throw him out of the game is just stunning. You know what surprised me, Rod, is that Leland didn't come out just ranting and raving. I mean, he was pretty calm at the get-go, then was tossed, and it's at this point after he's tossed that he starts going on.
Well, he had a chance to go out there and really, assess the situation. I mean, this is the best player in the game. This base is loaded. You have 45,000 people here that have come to watch this man play, and you're going to throw him out of the game?
Unreal. Well, you got to move on. What's done is done, and now Tuiasa Sopo will assume an 0-2 count with the bases loaded, and the best player in the game has been kicked out for the rest of this one. Don't you dare question a call, Matt. Go up there swinging. Oh, 0-2, bases loaded, and one out. Missed it outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the fans with a sarcastic cheer.
Well, apparently they're willing to burn Tuiasa Sopo here because there's nowhere for him to play defensively after this at bat.
Yeah, good point.
But they felt like obviously that Perez or Tuiasa Sopo better suited for this situation than Hernan Perez, because Perez is going to have to go play defensively.
Well, you can move Don Kelly to third.
True.
And have Tui go play the outfield. He'll play left, Durst will play right. And now time call, 2-2 the count. Don't you think that might be the way they go?
Apparently that's what they're going to do.
Instead of just burning Tui. Rick Porcello hoping his teammates, despite the events here, can get him some offense.
I was thinking, I guess, more along the lines of Porcello getting so many ground balls and having your best defensive infielders in, I guess.
Yeah, well, that certainly has to figure into it. And he got him, strike 3. Tuiasa Sopo's punched out of there. Boy, this is turning into a mess right now. It was a promising start. The bases are loaded now with 2 outs, and we'll see if Prince can come through. So Fielder with the bases loaded. Prince was up there with 2 men out in the first, and they turned a very difficult play, a double play against him to end the inning. And he popped it up. Pettibone is going to get out of this. Third baseman Young makes the catch. Inning is over, and the Tigers are turned away. No runs, 2 hits, a walk, and the Tigers lead and loaded. End of 3, 1-0 Phillies. Nothing to the Tigers. We go to the 4th inning. Cabrera's out of the game. He's been tossed out, so Kelly comes in from right to play third. Tuiasosopo stays in the game to play left, and Dirks will move from left to right. And then Rick Porcello back to the hill. Phillies got a run in the 2nd, and the RBI hit by Ruiz. And now they come to the plate here in the 4th. Darren Ruff leads it off. 1 run, 2 hits, Philadelphia. No runs, 2 hits, Detroit. First pitch is on the outside corner, 0-1.
It's the 4th time that Miguel Cabrera in his career he has been ejected from a game. 3rd time with the Tigers.
Here's the 0-1. Do you remember the other 2?
I do not.
I don't either. I'm going to remember this one for a while, though, just based on the circumstance alone. Porcello ready with the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ruff, Franson, and Mayberry here in the 4th inning for the Phillies. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul. Franson waiting on deck. Porcello has retired the last 4 straight. Here's the 1-2. Ruff played his college ball at Creighton. Hit 7 homers this year, knocked in 46 at AAA prior to his call-up. And dating back to last year now, has been on base in 25 consecutive games at the major league level. Tipped into the glove for strike 3. Porcello has another strikeout, his 2nd.
Here's a flashback to July 11th. Fairchild was the home plate umpire this afternoon after a Miggy home run. Sale went inside on Prince Fielder. There were no warnings issued after the Prince Fielder pitch, and therefore Pukonen threw one behind Alexi Ramirez, and then you had Fairchild kicking Jim out. He also kicked out Pukonen in that game just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, right before the All-Star break. Ball inside to Kevin Franson. The last Cabrera ejection was September 9th of last year against the Angels. Franson is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Rick will step off. And Rick now has retired 5 straight since the RBI hit by Ruiz back in the 2nd. Line to right field, slicing. That ball is going to land fair. It'll bounce into the seats as well. That's going to be a ground rule double. Kevin Franson goes the other way. 7th double of the year for Franson.
They've got a decent approach today against Porcello. Several of their right-handed batters have taken that sinker and tried to hit the ball into the right field direction. And Franson successful doing so there.
And he's got the Phillies' 3rd hit of the game. Here's John Mayberry. Walked and scored their run back in the 2nd. Ball 1 inside to John Mayberry Jr. Coming out of college from Stanford, was rated the best collegiate athlete coming out of his draft. Very versatile. He can play all 3 of the outfield positions. The 1-0 is sliced to center field. That's going to get down, a base hit. Stumbling to third base and holding there is Franson. He lost his footing about halfway down the line at third.
Looks like he hurt himself.
And had to hold up. Yeah, it does.
Ryan Sandberg, third base coach, looking down on Franson.
And now their trainer, their head athletic trainer, will come out and take a look. And Franson is still a little bit gimpy down there at third base.
That's all the Philadelphia Phillies need, is to add someone else to the lengthy list of names they already have on the disabled list.
No doubt. Here's an ISO of Franson right about here. Howard is out. Dominic Brown is out. They've had Halladay, who's also on the disabled list from their pitching staff. Charlie Manuel's got his lineup card out, thinking, I hope we don't have to make a change here. And Charlie's going to get a bird's eye view himself of what's happening here with Franson. Charlie came off for nothing. He got there and they said he's all right. Let's go back.
Well, what'd you make me run over here for?
So he can put the lineup card away. Everything's all good. Meanwhile, Porcello now trying to pitch out of a jam of his own here. Only 1 out. 1st and 3rd. And a ball outside.
And Porcello needs to make sure that John Mayberry Jr. over at first base stays right there and allows him to get his double play ball here, which would get him out of the inning. Mayberry with 5 steals, been caught 3 times.
Ground ball, base hit right field, right by Martinez. That'll score a run. Mayberry is all the way to third base, and the Phillies have a 2-0 lead. 3 consecutive hits for Philadelphia. Nix gets an RBI.
And nothing Victor Martinez could do holding on Mayberry Jr. That ball to his right, 2 steps and a dive, but that ball was by him.
Jeff Jones out to have a talk with Porcello. 7th RBI of the season for Nix. 3 straight hits here in the 4th for the Phillies. Franson is still limping around their dugout. Let's see if he's able to continue. Here's Carlos Ruiz, who has their other RBI. Knocked one in back in the 2nd. And he came into this game just 3 for his last 19. And now Franson heading back to the clubhouse. Ruiz last year was an all-star for the Phillies. This is his 8th season in a Philadelphia uniform. Here's the 0-1. Check swing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miguel Cabrera has been thrown out of this game. Jim Leland has been ejected as well for the 2nd time this year. John Kelly having to take over at third base for Miguel. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball left side of the infield. Peralta deep in the hole. They get 1 at second, and they got a double play. Wow. Nicely turned Peralta. Santiago Martinez. 6-4-3, ending the inning. By Arby's. Try the mighty taste of Arby's Mighty Minis today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. A Fans Dancing with the All-Stars is coming to Joe Louis Arena on Thursday, August 1st, benefiting Jack's Place for Autism. For tickets, call 248-443-7427. It's right around the corner. Make your plans to be there. Get your tickets now. There's the phone number. Well, another jam-packed house here at the ballpark today. The Tigers are down 2-0 as we play in the bottom of the 4th inning now. And it'll be Victor Martinez leading it off. And Franson still in the game. After coming up a little bit gimpy at third base. But he's okay. Victor in the ballgame, fly to center field back in the 2nd. Martinez, Peralta, Dirks.
49 pitches already thrown by Pettibone, and he has thrown more balls and strikes so far here today. Not a good ratio for him. But yet the Tigers unable to get to Pettibone yet.
Well, he had the 2 walks in the first, got a double play ball. And then the bases loaded situation where Cabrera was tossed out of the game. And he pitched out of that in the 3rd. Here's a 2-0, and now he's gotten behind again, 3-0. 10 multi-hit games in the month of July for Victor Martinez. Six of those are at least 3 hits in a contest. Here's the 3-0. That's in there to Victor. 3 balls, 1 strike. Martinez fly to center field. His only time up, 0 for 1. .387 this month. 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Awfully good. Now he's got himself a walk. The leadoff man on. The base on balls just keep on coming. That is the 4th of the game now for Pettibone, which ties a season high. We'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Strike call. Johnny right now 5-game hitting streak. Tying run at the plate, 2-0. We're in the 4th inning. Big swing there, 0-2 on Johnny. The sun has been trying all day long to peek through the clouds. Every now and then it is successful. Temperature up to 65 right now. Certainly not July weather, nearly August. Here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back. Johnny came into this game the 2nd best home average in the American League. His teammate Miguel Cabrera, 388 at home, followed by Peralta, 349 in his home ballpark. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Missed inside. 2-2 the count. Tigers have only 2 hits in this ball game today, and they both came back in the 3rd when they got a leadoff double from Avila and the single by Santiago. But Pettibone wiggled out of that jam, and now Martinez leading things off here in the 4th with a walk. Soft line drive to left, broke his bat, loops in for a base hit. And the Tigers once again in business here. 2 on, nobody out. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game. It is brought to you as always by Miller Lite. Now let's see what Dirks can do here now. Andy a ground out, 0 for 1. Tigers pretty good production from 7, 8, 9 in their lineup in the first 2 games in this series. And even today. Lifted in the air toward left. Susdorf is on the move to the corner to make the catch, and the runners will hold. 1 out. We'll bring up Avila.
Alex with a really good at bat his first time up. He got himself a ball up in the strike zone and hit a double to left center field over the head of John Mayberry Jr., their center fielder. Really nice approach in his first plate appearance today.
Avila now has hit safely in his last 4. And he sends a ground ball to first. He'll fire to second for 1. Reed at first. got him. Double play. Oh, good. It's another twin killing they've turned. Not an easy one either.
Here today by the Phillies. That was one of the runs they scored against Porcello in the second. But in the third inning, here's the story of the game. Chad Fairchild called a couple of questionable strikes on Miguel Cabrera, and Miguel Cabrera did not appreciate those and apparently said something to Chad Fairchild, and Fairchild kicked Miguel Cabrera out of the game, and then he also kicked Jim Leland out of this game.
Fairchild, by the way, leads the major leagues with 8 ejections this year. Make that of what you will. Here is Susdorf now to start things off in the 5th inning. He bounced out back in the 2nd. There's a ball low. Rick Porcello, 59 pitches through 4.
I'm kind of surprised at that. I thought Angel Hernandez would be #1 on that list every year. He got a short fuse.
Yes, he does. He can throw them out with the best of them. Line drive, fair ball, right field line. Looks like extra bases. Susdorf is on his way to second base and maybe more. Nope, he's going to hold up. He'll pull in with a 2-base hit. So the leadoff man is on here in the 5th inning.
And meanwhile, the Phillies come to play today. They don't want to be swept here for the second consecutive road series. They were swept by the St. Louis Cardinals before they got here, and they've dropped 7 straight. So they're playing some decent baseball today.
First big league hit for the left fielder. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins 0 for 2. Lays down a bunt. Porcello barehanded, and Rollins is out. Sacrifice advance to the runner. And now we'll try and get him in. Time now for the AT&T trivia question. And here it is. Who were the 2 starting shortstops the last time the Phillies played here at Comerica Park, which, by the way, was all the way back in 2002, with the 2 starting shortstops in that game. Infield coming in now for Detroit. Here's Michael Young to try and drive in the run. Sends a ground ball foul. Young had a single back in the 1st inning, 1 for 2. A lot of chatter in the newspapers about Young possibly going back to Texas, where his big league career began, and he spent so many years.
I thought they parted ways badly.
That's what the word was. I guess it would be surprising for me if he ended up back in Texas, but That could also be the typical chatter you get heading up to the trading deadline.
Lance Berkman must be lost for quite some time. I know he was DHing quite a bit for Texas earlier in the year.
Yeah, they feel it could be a while. No balls, 2 strikes. Michael Young.
Yeah, Michael Young has a .385 career batting average against Porcello.
Strike call to the outside corner. That'll go down a tick. Big strikeout there for Rick. 2 away.
Nice job. He started him inside, then he went down the middle with a pitch, and then he located one beautifully at 91 on the black outside.
So Chase Utley will not bat here. They're going to put him on. An intentional walk. That'll leave runners at first and third. They'll take their chances with the on deck man. That would be Darren Ruff. Here's ball 2 to Utley. And although he is 0 for 8 in the series and has been relatively quiet, they want no part of him here with first base open. And here comes ball 4 coming up. Intentional walk.
Here is today's high-speed stat, and it's brought to you by Charter Internet, and it's on Chase Utley. 128 career steals in 144 attempts, which is good for 89%. That is the highest among actives with at least 120 attempted steals. Nice two-way player, Chase Utley.
Well, here is Ruff trying to extend this Phillies lead with 2 outs, and he looks at ball 1. The big out right now for Porcello was the strikeout of Young, which gives him a chance now to get out of this jam. 45-25, the ratio for Porcello. Line foul, 1 ball, 1 strike on Ruff. Big breakout year last year in the minors for Darren Ruff. 38 home runs in a minor league season is awfully good. 104 RBIs as well. One ball, 2 strikes. Phillies today 2 runs, 6 hits. The Tigers no runs on 3 hits. Wrapping up this series, off day tomorrow for the ball club, and then Washington comes in, where the Tigers will get a look at Steven Strasburg on Tuesday, Gio Gonzalez on Wednesday.
Seeing 2 of their best.
Yeah. Sanchez Verlander for the Tigers. And the 1-2. Back up the middle and into center field, a base hit. So Ruff spoils the strategy. Utley is walked intentionally, and Ruff singles in a run. Fourth RBI of the season at the big league level.
And Porcello throws a fastball. It's a sinker that stays up, and Ruff able to hit it right back through the middle.
Here's Kevin Franson. Three runs on 7 hits now for the Phillies. They are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. And the 7 hits they have today now eclipses the total they had in the first 2 games. Tiger pitching able to shut them down the first 2 nights. Franson a double in 2 at bats. Here's the 0-1. Good block there by Avila. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chopped to third base, right at Kelly. He'll just simply race to the bag for the force. Inning is over. However, Phil's get one more run. And you're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Kansas City Royals on Friday, August 16th at 1:08. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Royals coming to town. Here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Time to get the bats going here. Tigers down 3-0. Santiago to the second baseman. No play. Leadoff man on.
It is a perfect bunt by Santiago. He takes it right past the pitcher. And once you get it past the pitcher, you have a chance of getting yourself a base hit. Takes his time, places it perfectly. By the time it's run down by Franson, the second baseman, Santiago across the bat.
Tigers now have gotten the leadoff man on and for the first 5 innings of this game. Now we'll see if they can get one in. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Phils. Tigers, no runs, 4 hits. Neither team with an error today. Jackson has been on base twice. He has walked 2 times. Pettibone missing inside 1-0. Pettibone has gone 6 straight starts in which he has given up 3 or fewer runs. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0 on Jackson. He has walked 4 in this game, but nary a 1 has scored. .6'6", 225 out of Placentia, California. Only 23 years old. Lifted to right field. Nick's charging. It's going to drop. Base hit. Santiago went halfway to see if that ball would be caught. He stops at second.
Tigers in business again.
So that's 3 straight innings they've gotten the first 2 men on.
First hit in the last couple of days for Jackson.
Here's Don Kelly. Ground out pop-up. Line to center field. Base hit. They're going to hold Santiago at third. The bases are loaded with nobody out.
Second time that Matt Tuiasosopo is going to hit with the bases loaded. The last time he was up there, he inherited a 2-strike count from Miguel Cabrera. after Miggy was kicked out of the game. It's a little breaking ball that stays up, and a real nice swing put on it by Don Kelly.
So 2-0 now with the bases full. Eventually striking out in that at bat in the third. And he lines one through into right field. Santiago scores. Jackson being held up at third base. It's an RBI single. Throw gets away. Jackson will hold. And now quickly Tuiasosopo to first. And he is safe. Tui got caught between first and second and was fortunate to get back.
Tuiasosopo was running with his head down. Once Jackson took about 3 or 4 steps down that third baseline, Tuiasosopo put his head down and ran towards second base. Tigers right-handed batters, nice approach in this inning against Pettibone. Trying to hit the ball the other way, even though he does go inside. He doesn't go in there aggressively, and you could take that pitch and fight it off as he did.
The tag of Tuiasosopo is just a little bit tardy. So the bases remain loaded. Tigers finally get a run. It's 3-1 now, and here comes Fielder. Nobody out. 8th RBI for Tuiasosopo. Fielder 299, career loaded. There's a strike called, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. That was actually the 26th RBI for Tuiasosopo. Here's the 0-1. Back to the second baseman. Bobbled. Quick throw in time, but the run will score. Jackson comes in. Fielder gets an RBI, and it's 3-2.
They might walk Victor Martinez here. Base open. That would be the smart move for them to limit the damage.
Prince gets his 75th RBI of the year. Let's see what they do with Martinez. First base open.
Looks like they're going to pitch to him, or attempt to make it seem like they're pitching to him.
Fly ball and a walk for Victor. And he pops it up foul, back out of play.
Victor went out of the strike zone and swung at ball 1.
There's some activity in the bullpen. Luis Garcia. Pettibone has been able to dodge trouble all afternoon long, but it's finally caught up with him. 3 straight hits, followed by the base hit by Tuiasosopo. And then a ground out. One ball, 1 strike. .57 driven in for Victor. And 17 RBIs this month alone. We got 2 more sitting out there. And he shoots one foul at the left field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tigers now have all of a sudden evened up the hit totals. Each team with 7. Pettibone came in with a 3.27 ERA in the month of July. And the Tigers perhaps a base hit away from taking the lead. Bouncing ball right side. They'll tag the bag. One, come home. Tag not in time. Run scores. Kelly is in. Martinez drives in another run. Three ball game.
You wonder if Ruff had time to come home directly without taking a couple of steps to tag the bag before throwing the ball home if he gets Don Kelly.
I think he would have.
And Don Kelly was coming on contact, but Ruff alertly was able to reach down and get the bag with the left foot, and there that allowed Kelly kept a couple extra steps.
There's a strike called on Peralta. I think they had a pretty good shot at getting him. Instead, it's 3-3. Johnny with 2 outs and men in scoring position has been really good. 319. One and one. Rolled foul, third base side. 1-2 now on Johnny Peralta. Tigers finally making good on some leadoff base runners. 3 hits to start the inning, and all 3 have come around to score. Porcello now finds himself at a 3-3 tie. In the air, shallow center. This might be trouble. Caught on a terrific play by Franson. Running out to dead center field over the shoulder grab. He takes an RBI and a base hit away from Peralta. Tigers, however, tied up. The 6th inning at the ballpark. We do remind you to join us again Tuesday when the Tigers welcome in the Nationals. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Tigers Live, Tigers and Washington Nationals, Tuesday night right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Anibal Sanchez will throw game 1 against Mr. Strasburg in that one. And the Nationals, for all the talent they have, they're struggling this year.
Offense. Their offense has not been good at all this year.
Rick back to work now in a brand new ball game. 3-3 as we go to the 6th. John Mayberry Jr. leads it off. And he backs him out of there. 1-0. Mayberry, then Nixon, then Ruiz. Tigers trying to deal the Phillies their 8th consecutive loss, and in the process sweep this series. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on John Mayberry. Tigers had their skipper, Jim Leland, ejected from the game earlier, along with Miguel Cabrera. Gene Lamont right now taking over the reins.
When Gene would coach third base in the first 6 years as a coach for the Tigers, Lloyd McClendon would take over for Jim when Jim was ejected from games. But now with Gene Lamont having that tag as the bench coach, he simply takes the lineup card from Jim these days.
One of the luxuries of having a couple of other ex-managers in the big leagues on your coaching staff. 1-2 on John Mayberry Jr. He's been on base twice in this game, a walk and a single. He has also scored a run. Two the count.
Gene Lamont actually finished runner-up to Bobby Valentine last year for that Boston Red Sox gig. Boston Red Sox probably wishing they'd have hired Gene Lamont instead of Bobby V.
It didn't work out too well, did
last season.
Here's the 2-2. Pulled foul. Waiting on deck, Lance Nix. And again the 2-2. Ground ball shortstop. Easy play Peralta. Mayberry's out by a step and a half. One gone. Time for a game break. Here's Shannon Hogan. Shannon, thanks. There's the spread right now in the Central. 3-game spread for the Tigers over the Indians. KC 7 out.
Indians not going away.
Here's Nix. Ground ball to first. Martinez knocks it down. And Porcello covers for the out. 2 gone.
And no wonder why the Texas Rangers have thrown out there some rumors regarding Michael Young of this Philadelphia Phillies team, who spent a number of years in their uniform. They can't hit right now.
Which is really kind of amazing, isn't it?
They got shut out yesterday.
Yeah. There's Michael Young, who spent, I believe, 13 seasons with the Rangers. And right now, Texas trailing Oakland by 5.
That Oakland squad also proving that all those victories they got last year, no fluke at all.
I've got to admit, there was part of me that thought that there was, fluke might be too strong of a word, but I don't know if they could duplicate it this year, and apparently they can. Fouled straight back, 0-1.
Because they had so many magical wins last night, Oakland did. Last year, I should say. All those extra inning wins, walk-off wins.
Vila got hammered again. How many times does he get it on the backswing?
Too many. Too many. Mayberry got him twice on Friday.
Is that just coincidence, or is that positioning? What's going on?
I really don't know. But I can't remember watching another hitter in the league that gets hit as much as Alex does on the backswing.
Here's the 0-2 from Rick. Popped up. Middle of the infield. Peralta is calling for it. And Porcello with a 1-2-3 6th inning. Still tied at 3s. Remind you to vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry only and McDonald's. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Tigers now will face a new pitcher. Pettibone is out of the game. A wall-side windows pitching change. Jake Diekman is on now for the Phils.
And we saw Diekman in last night's game. Diekman has a fastball that will go from 94 to 97 miles an hour. He also has a real good slider. He features a changeup, but does not throw the changeup nearly as much as he does his fastball and his slider.
Dirk Sevilla Santiago due up as we go here to the bottom of the 6th. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Andy is 0 for 2. Ground out, fly out. And he shows bunt. Races out of the box. It missed 1-0. Diekman grew up in Nebraska. He played some college ball at Cloud County Community College in Kansas. Ball outside. 2-0 the count. 6'4", 200-pounder. And he slings one home outside. Now the count goes to 3-0. Tigers have gotten the leadoff man on in the last 3 consecutive innings. Righties at 386 against him. Lefties 250. That's in for a strike. 3-1. Diekman has recorded 12 strikeouts in his last 9 1/3 innings. And another strike. 3-2 now on Andy.
Looks like he could be tough on left-handers. He stands on the third base side of the rubber, but he steps toward first base and really throws across his body.
And he walked him. Again, the Tigers get the leadoff man on, so that's 5 of the 6 innings in this game. Charlie Manuel sees one of his pitchers throw another walk. That'll be 5 of the game now for Phillies pitching.
It'll be interesting to see how the Tigers play this one with Avila in that batter's box. Do they ask Avila to bunt, or do they put a runner in motion? Maybe hit and run or something.
Alex had a double in the 3rd, bounced into a double play back in the 4th. We shall see. There's Dirks getting his lead at first base. Young is on the cut of the grass at third base. And Avila showing bunt. And he lays one down. They're going to throw to second, and it's going to hit the runner. Poor throw by Diekman. Everybody's safe.
Not only was it a poor throw, it was a poor decision. And the Tigers were trying to give the Philadelphia Phillies an out. And Diekman trying to force the issue by getting a force at second. Even if it was a good throw, Andy Dirks would have been safe.
He's fortunate this ball didn't go into center field. Don't know if Dirks would have been able to get to third. Sack E1.
That's where someone in that infield, whether it be Ruiz or whether it be Michael Young, the third baseman, someone has to be directing some traffic there for Diekman to tell him exactly what to do with the baseball in that situation. And Tigers are set up for another sack bunt here with Santiago.
Garcia again warming up in their bullpen. Ramon has been on base twice in this game, 2 singles. The last one was a bunt hit. We'll see if he moves the runners up here. Popped up the bunt, foul. 0-1. .182 average now for Ramon with his 2 hits today. Each side was 7 hits.
Both Hernan Perez and Ramon Santiago have done very nice work filling in for the injured Omar Infante.
And it's punted down the third base line. Diekman going to have a tough play. Held on to it. Everybody is safe. He hesitated before throwing, and they are loaded up.
Nice bunt by Santiago.
So the Tigers are trying to give up outs here, but the Phillies won't take them. Here's Jackson with the bases loaded, nobody out.
Third time in the last 3 innings the Tigers have had the sacks loaded.
Ball 1. Three-hit game for Santiago. Dirks, Avila, and Ramon on the bases. Jackson had a single back in the 5th, on base 3 times himself today. Has a couple of walks as well. In the air, shallow right field. Nick's coming under it, drifting. He'll make the catch. Dirks will force a throw, but he's not coming home. 1 out. And the bases remain loaded. Bring up Don Kelly. Kelly today is single in 3 at bats. He was part of that 3-run 5th for the Tigers. Check swing foul, 0-1. Third time today, the base is loaded, nobody out. First time it happened was back in the 3rd. That's when Cabrera was ejected for arguing with Chad Fairchild. Tigers failed to score there. Then they got 3 in the 5th when they loaded him up with nobody out. Here they're trying to break a 3-3 tie. Here's the 0-1. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cabrera had 2 strikes on him when Tuiasa Sopo came on to replace him after he was ejected from the game. Tuiasa Sopo struck out. But that K goes on to Miguel Cabrera's record.
Now time called by Kelly. He'll step out. There's action in the Detroit bullpen. Bruce Rondon, Drew Smiley. Two balls, one strike on Kelly. Tigers 4 for 14 with the men in scoring position. RBIs today belong to Tuiasa, Sopo, Fielder, and Martinez.
Perfect situation for a squeeze play if the Tigers are thinking along those lines. 2-1 count with the bases loaded and a tough left-hander on the mound going up against a left-handed pitch hitter.
Missed it outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Tui waiting on deck. Three 1 pitch. Fly ball. Left field. Backing up. Susdorf dropped it. 1 run scores. And they're going to hold Avila at third. The Tigers have taken the lead on a drop fly ball. Run probably scores anyway.
The Tigers have tried to give the Phillies 3 outs in this inning. 3 of them, 2 bunts and then a fly ball. And they do not want any of them.
Sac fly E7.
Meanwhile, outstanding at bat by Don Kelly to get the count to 3 balls and 1 strike and looking for 1 pitch to hit deep enough to the outfield to plate the run. Really good at bat by Don Kelly.
And that's going to be it for Diekman. Garcia will come in. Wallside windows pitching change here. Tigers have taken their first lead of the day.
The bases are still loaded. There are 1 out, and Don Kelly hits a ball to the outfield deep enough to score the run had Susdorf caught the ball, which means Don Kelly will eventually be given an RBI on that play.
They haven't yet?
Well, I don't know, but he should have gotten one.
Well, that's definitely, there's no way he throws him out.
No
there,
way.
even if he catches that ball. So
he's
that's
backing up for one. He's on his heels. How in the world is he going to throw him out?
They have not announced the RBI yet, but we're going to give it to him.
By the way, you kids at home, the reason why Susdorf did not catch that ball, and maybe we'll take another look at it, is the fact that the one thing they tell you in the outfield to never do, and that's to get on your heels. You always stay on the balls of your feet. That way your head does not move all over the place, and you're able to make those plays.
This could be a big inning now as Tuiasa Sopo takes outside.
Here he is on his heels. You stay off your heels in the outfield. That's when you see misplays.
Four to 3 Detroit, their first lead of the game. Tui Asasopo with the bases loaded, only 1 out. Bender missing low. 2 balls, no strikes. The numbers on Luis Garcia.
No blemish for Garcia as far as the earned run average is concerned. He has logged 7 2/3 innings, and he is pitching in his 7th game.
Ball outside, now it's 3-0 with no room on the bases.
He has just 2 pitches. He's got a fastball that will get up to 96 and a slider that will get to 85. Would not be surprised to see Tui Asasopo get a chance to swing here. 3 balls and no strikes if he wants to.
Way outside, ball 4, that'll drive in a run. A bases loaded walk. Avila will score, and the Tigers add another. It's 5-3. This has to go down as one of the ugliest innings for the Phillies this year. Ruiz had to chase that ball halfway up the line at first. Hernan Perez coming in now at first base to pinch run. Here is Fielder with the bases loaded. Strike 1. Prince's ground ball knocked in a run back in the 5th inning. Tigers getting 3 in the 5th and now 2 here in the 6th. Only 1 out. Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. They are loaded up with Tigers. Santiago and Kelly and Perez. Up and in. 2-1. Garcia's been all over the place. He's coming out of the bullpen. He was called up from the minor leagues in June from Lehigh Valley. Two balls, 1 strike. Actually, in July, he was called up. Started the year AA, then to AAA, now the big leagues. Bouncing ball right side, fielded at first. He'll come home. Throw is high, not in time. Save.
Oh boy, have the wheels fell off here today for the fighting Phillies.
An ugly inning just got uglier.
And that's a play right there. Ruff just simply needs to go to the shortstop and then go back to the bag to go 3-6-3 with the double play. There was really no need to try to get the force out there with 1 out. I mean, you go 6 to the shortstop, you get to the bag, and you get the double play off the bat of Prince Fielder there.
And it gets you out of the inning.
They have made some bad decisions in this inning.
A high throw pulling Ruiz off the plate. Santiago is safe. 6-3 Detroit. An error on the first baseman Ruff. Fielder's choice E3, no RBI. The look on Charlie Manuel's face says it all. That's outside. 1 ball, no strikes on Victor Martinez. Seems like the Tigers have had the bases loaded all day long. 3 in the 5th, now 3 in the 6th. Victor's ground ball knocked in a run. That was last inning. strike call. And the count now goes to 1-1. Martinez takes issue with that call from Chad Fairchild.
Chad Fairchild, not the most liked man in the ballpark here today.
That's because he threw Miguel Cabrera and Jim Leland out of the game earlier today. Cabrera arguing a couple of pitches and was given the heave-ho. The base is loaded in the middle of an at-bat. Here's the 1-1. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. This is the 8th man to bat in the inning for the Tigers. And they have only 1 hit in this inning. 3 errors for the Phillies in this game. Johnny waiting on deck. Porcello at one time trailed 3-0, now leads 6-3. Foul back out of play. How about the Philly bullpen? They have been asked to come in here in the 6th inning, and this season in the National League, look at these ranks.
Well, Papelbon's out there at the back end of the bullpen. But by and large, it's a very young bullpen. Lots of injuries. They've had to dip into the minor leagues quite often this year. And the kids that are pitching up here aren't ready for the major leagues.
Tigers have avoided Papelbon, winning the first 2 games. Leading here now 6-3. And the 2-2. Lifted to left foul. Into the seats it goes.
There's not a player's name out there that's been mentioned as much as Papelbon, and it's gone back a month now. Everybody was looking for a reliever, and his name was the name that was hot and heavy. But the scouts here, they're not even going to get a chance to watch Papelbon pitch.
20 saves this year for Papelbon, an ERA of 2.27. Opponents batting 203 against him, and all he can do right now is stretch.
There was even some rumors that he'd go back to Boston with some of the issues they've had at the back end of their bullpen with their closers this year.
Ground ball, foul, first base side.
The sun finally peeking out here today.
It's been a battle all day long to get some sunshine here.
It's here now.
Two walks, 3 errors, and a bunt single in this inning for the Tigers. They parlayed that into 3 runs. And they're far from done, it appears. Again, the 2-2. 3-2 on Victor Martinez. Diekman started the inning, then Garcia. And now the left-hander Antonio Bastardo warming up.
Yeah, he and Papelbon, the only ones that have been healthy all year. Bastardo.
Three and 2. Another tricky spot here for Garcia. They already walked the man with the bases loaded. Fouled off at home plate, and Ruiz unable to hold on to it. This will be the 9th pitch in this at bat coming up. Ground ball, first base side, foul. Just outside of that bag, right on the call, Jeff Kellogg. 3-2 the count stays. The battle continues between Martinez and Garcia. Fouled away. Right now, Victor driving Garcia nuts. 10 pitches in this at bat. The only man not to bat in the inning yet, Peralta waiting on deck. 3 in the 5th, 3 here in the 6th. Tigers still have them loaded up. They've got Kelly at 3rd, Perez occupying 2nd, and Prince at 1st. He walked him with the bases loaded, the second time that Garcia has done that in this inning. Force in another run as Kelly scores. Going to bring Rich Doobie out. 7-3 Tigers. And Martinez gets his second RBI, 59 for the year. And the 9th man at bat in the inning, Johnny Peralta, about to step in. Johnny made a bid to drive in a run in the 5th inning, but his pop up to center field nearly fell in. Kevin Franzen ran it down to end of the inning, but he's got a golden opportunity here. Still only 1 out. Ball 1. That's the 20th pitch that Garcia has thrown since coming on. And the 1-0. 2-0. Still, the only hit for the Tigers in this inning was the infield hit by Santiago. And the 2-0. Swing and a drive and a deep left. Way back. Peralta has just hit a slam. On a 2-0 pitch, Johnny has broken this one wide open. Oh, he crushed it way beyond the bullpen and left. Exclamation point. 11-3 Detroit.
Peralta sitting on the 2-0 piece of cheese because Garcia could not find the strike zone, and he knew he was going to get a good one. And he lifted that leg up, put it right back down, and it's on after that.
And Garcia will depart. The Tigers have busted this one wide open. Capped off by the grand slam by Johnny Peralta. Another pitching change. 11-3. We'll be back. They are now up 11-3. Garcia is out of the game, bounced out courtesy of a grand slam from Johnny Peralta.
11 unanswered runs put on the board here so far. And the Tigers are still in business here today. It's a wonderful look at the grand slam off the bat of Johnny Peralta.
Really, really impressive inning. Of course, the Phillies have done their best to give away outs. They've committed 3 errors in this game. And that's a common look right now on the Phillies bench. And of course, the error by Steve Sestorf in the left turned out to be a huge play in this inning on a routine fly ball.
Biggest play for me of the inning was a ground ball to first base to Ruff, when Ruff should have gone to the shortstop and back to first base for a double play to end the inning.
Yeah, he came home instead, threw high, and a run scored. 8-run 6th inning, and Andy Dirks will step in for the second time. He started the frame with a walk. 8-run Detroit lead. Strike called on Dirks.
And Bastardo has a fastball that will get all the way up to 93. He throws that about 60% of the time. He's got a slider. He also features a changeup. Does not throw the changeup very often. Mostly fastball slider.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He and Papelbon have been the mainstays down in that bullpen all year for the Phillies.
Phillies pitching, by the way, today has 7 walks.
This game that the Phillies are playing today is as ugly as that game the White Sox played against the Tigers just a few days ago.
And especially this 6th inning here. I mean, they've just had so many opportunities to take outs, but drop fly ball to the left. Bad decision at first base by Ruff. Here's the 2-1. Dirks fouled it back 2-2. Last night, the Phillies suffered their most lopsided loss since 2007 when they lost 12-0 to Colorado. Today, they're down 11-3. 3 errors. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Dirks leaving the strike zone. It's the second out of the inning. Hey, tune in Tuesday for a special edition of Natural Sounds of the Game when we mimic what it's like to sit in the stands at Comerica Park. Extra mics will be picking up the crack of the bat, pop the mitt, crowd's reaction on every play. Natural Sounds of the Game Tuesday, all game long on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. So make your plans to tune in for that and get a unique listen to the ball game. Here is Avila. And that is all audio, no announcers, which many of you might actually like. That's going to go down the right field line and bounce into the seats.
Actually, I think there's a whole lot of folks out there that would like that.
I didn't want to say it, but
it's all good, though.
There's a boatload of them out there.
Everybody's not going to love you. Just need a few.
Avila had a double back in the 3rd. Here's the 0-1. Checked it. And he did not go. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's been a very long sit down for Rick Porcello,
to say the least.
We've got to be closing in on about 30 minutes.
Tipped into the glove. 1-2.
Cutting into your barbecue time today.
Yeah, you are. But that's okay. I'll take the 8-run 6th inning here. They run out of propane before this one's over.
Don't season the meat just yet.
Here's the 1-2. And he got him on the outside corner, strike 3, which finally ends the inning. What a wacky inning. An error by the left fielder Sestorf. Play by the first baseman Ruff. Garcia was hammered in this inning, and it all ended with this. Johnny Peralta grand slam, the 4th of his career. energy shots. Tigers got a bolt of energy with their 8-run 6th inning, and they lead 11-3 as we go to the 7th inning here at the ballpark. And we've got some changes now defensively for your Tigers. Santiago now is at third base. Hernan Perez at second base. Don Kelly is going to go back to right field, where he started this game. Then he went to third. Now he's back to right. Drew Smiley is your new pitcher.
That last half inning that Porcello sat down for 32 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yikes.
Looked like Jim was going to go to the bullpen anyway. You watched Max Scherzer throw 75 pitches last night before Jim went to the bullpen. Porcello threw 86 today before departing.
Steve Susdorf got his first big league hit back in the 5th. He doubled and scored.
And Drew Smiley has been a bright surprise this year. And one of the better relievers in the game of baseball.
Start of the year in long relief, Jim Leland wanted to keep both Smiley and Porcello coming out of spring camp. Porcello better suited for the rotation. Smiley went to the bullpen. He admitted early in the year, yes, I prefer to start, but I just want to be in the big leagues. And he has really latched on to this role now late in games.
Throws a lot of strikes. Does not walk many people. Racks up a lot of strikeouts.
Here's the 1-2. Susdorf, Rollins, Young in the 7th inning for the Phillies. Tigers with an 11-3 lead, trying to sweep this series. Here's the 1-2. Tigers also trying to continue their dominance of interleague play under Jim Leland. When the skipper took over in 06, the Tigers have just had their way with the National League.
They also play great baseball here at Cabrera Park. Go all the way back to July 4th of last year. About 31 games over 500 right here.
This season, on top of that, they are 1 game over 500 on the road, too.
Starting to come together.
3-2 on Susdorf. Lifted in the air to left. Caught by Dirks. 1 up.
Here are those numbers. And Tigers dominating in the D since Independence Day of 2012. Record 64-30. First in runs per game. Batting average.
Pretty good numbers. They fell behind 3-0 today, but now lead 11-3. Strike called on John McDonald, who's hitting for Rollins. McDonald came into the game last night as a replacement. Tigers bullpen this year has an ERA of 4.03, but in the second half it's 2.60. Since the All-Star break, the pen has done a fabulous job. Here's the 1-1.
John McDonald was worn a lot of different uniforms. It doesn't hit for much, never has hit for much in the big leagues, but boy, can he play some shortstop. He has got a great glove. He is a wizard with that glove.
Close.
And because of that, continues to get opportunities to play in the big leagues.
Played here in Detroit briefly in 05. Fouled away. The clubs that John McDonald has played for: Cleveland, that's where he spent the majority of his time. We mentioned Detroit, Toronto, also quite a few years there as well. Arizona and Pittsburgh last year, and this year actually for Pittsburgh. Smiley again with a 2-2. Got him. Strike 3. McDonald caught looking. First punch out for Drew.
Good fastball here out of the hand of Smiley. Away from the arm side, south of the knees. May have been borderline low, but And Smiley's always around the plate. Therefore, the home plate umpire will always give him the benefit of the doubt. Second consecutive day where Charlie Manuel's cleaned out his regulars and put in a lot of subs.
Yeah, here comes Martinez. He shoots one to second on the line, caught there. And the inning is over. Drew Smiley a 1-2-3 7th. It's time to stretch.
For the game summary, Miguel Cabrera was kicked out of this game in the third inning. That was Chad Fairchild, their home plate umpire. And then Jim Leland came out in the defense of his superstar slugger, and he was also booted. The sixth inning was not a good inning for the Philadelphia Phillies. They walked guys, they made errors. They just could not make plays, and therefore the Tigers put this game out of reach. They scored 8 runs in the bottom half of that inning, capped off by the Johnny Peralta grand slam.
And how about some of the highlights of this one graphically? Cabrera and Leland both ejected in that third inning. The slam for Peralta was his 4th of his career, and the Tigers' 6th inning, only 2 hits. All of the runs were unearned. And you total it all up, it's 11-3 in favor of the Tigers, turning into a nice day now. The sun is finally shining, burning away the clouds. Here's that AT&T trivia question again. Who were the 2 starting shortstops the last time the Phillies played here at Comerica Park in 2002? And your answer is Ramon Santiago and Jimmy Rollins. Back in the days when Santiago was in the early part of his career, along with Omar Infante.
J. Roll was just getting his career started, too.
Yeah, he was a couple of years in, but he was a real young player. Rollins out of the game now. They've decided to rest him the rest of the day. And good friend Juan Samuel. Here come the Tigers now in the bottom of the 7th. It is 11-3 Detroit. Santiago swings on the first pitch and pops it up right at home plate. Ruiz, 1 gone. Michael Martinez stays in the game, and he will play third base. John McDonald stays in the game, and he'll play short. Here's Austin Jackson. AJ's walked a couple of times, also has a single. And has scored a run. In for a strike, 0-1. Garcia came on, really struggled out of the bullpen for the Phillies in the 6th. And then Bastardo came on and got the final 2 outs. Drilled to center field. Mayberry is on the run. Won't get it. Jackson on his way to second. Mayberry has a little trouble with it. Doesn't matter though. That's a double for Austin Jackson. Second hit for AJ.
And I told you Mayberry in center field plays very shallow. And therefore he was over in right center field. Was able to catch that ball on one bounce. But slipped while grabbing the baseball.
And that's going to give the Tigers yet another 10-hit game. Here's Don Kelly. One for 3 for Kelly. He has scored a couple of times, batting .236. Here's the 0-1. DK lifts it foul, back out of play. Bastardo's been in the big leagues with the Phils since 2009. He saved 8 games a couple of years ago. Had a really good season out of the Phillies pen. Last year, 65 appearances. 64 the year before that. Missed it high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Smiley was able to pitch the 7th. Rondon, it appears, will pitch the 8th. He's warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Two and 2. Hernan Perez waiting on deck. Tigers 11 runs, 10 hits. They've stranded 6 today. The Phillies have left 5. Here's the 2-2. Checked it outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Paul's still working hard. Hardest working mascot in baseball. (3-2). And another walk for Phillies pitching. Will be 8 on the day. Hey, next Sunday the Tigers host the Chicago White Sox at 1:08. It's Sunday Kids Day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Austin Jackson poster. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. You tired of the White Sox yet?
No, not yet.
I hope not, because we still have plenty of with the Sox remaining. Two on, 1 out. Here's Perez. Ground ball left side, base hit. Jackson on his way to third. They're going to send him home. AJ comes around to score. RBI single for Hernan Perez.
Was talking about Santiago and also Perez a couple of innings ago in the absence of Omar Infante. Both guys have held their own. There's no doubt they've played well defensively, but both guys have chipped in with quite a few hits. Speaking of that White Sox team, the only thing you wonder with the White Sox, what's that team going to look like when they come to Comerica Park next week after the trade deadline?
Yeah, that's a good point. Deadline is early in the week as Fielder stands in.
There's a lot of teams that are hot and heavy on their right fielder Alex Rios and their starting pitcher Jake Peavy.
Fielder in this game hit into a double play early, but his ground ball in the fifth knocked in a run. Swing and a miss. Owen won the count. He's got two men on here. Tigers now lead 12-3. They've scored all 12 of their runs in the last 3 innings after falling behind 3-0. Oh, 2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Nice play there. They'll flip the second one, and the relay is in time. Branson, McDonald, and Ruff to end the inning. Big day for the Tigers, and they control this one on their way to a sweep of the Philadelphia Phillies. They need to get 6 more outs. They lead 12-3 in this ball game as we go to the top of the 8th inning here at Comerica Park. And the Tigers now will bring in Bruce Rondon. Smiley at 1-2-3 7th. Rondon here in the 8th. Chase Utley leads it off. And he looks at ball 1 high. Utley is 0 for 2 with an intentional walk. Ruff and then Franzen to follow. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In for a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Smiley had a A line out, strikeout, fly out in that 7th inning. Hands the baseball over now to Rondon. Fouled straight back. Rondon has been asked many times the origins of his first name, Bruce. How did he end up with that first name? And Bruce says, my dad was a Bruce Lee fan. Big Bruce Lee fan. He actually wanted to name him Bruce Lee Rondon, but Mom said no. I'll give you Bruce, but that's it.
That's it.
It's worth a shot, though, I guess, if your dad. Here's the 1-2. Foul back out of play. Rondon started the year in the minor leagues, came up early in the month of April, did not fare all that well, was sent back down, and then really had a lot of success with Toledo.
Those Bruce Lee movies, you have to admit, they were awfully tight back in the day.
They were, but Bruce Lee doesn't have near the fastball that Bruce Rondon does. Here's the 1-2. Slow roller towards short. Johnny on the charge. Utley is out by half a step. Close play, one gone. Did you get into those flicks, those Bruce Lee flicks?
Absolutely.
Did you really?
I loved going to those. When we used to leave the theater, I thought I was Bruce Lee.
Did you get into fights?
Well, not fights, but we kicked over a couple fences.
Because they don't fight back.
You had to think you were Bruce Lee when you left those flicks.
You juvenile delinquent, you. Here's Ruff. It's like watching the Rocky movies, man. You just get so charged up. You want to become a boxer.
Yeah.
1 for 3 for Ruff. Here's the 0-1. Here's the strike called. 0-2 now on Ruff. Ruff had an RBI single back in the 5th. 1 for 3 in this game. Phillies led 3-0, and then the roof caved in on them. 3 in the 5th and 8 in the 6th for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2. Ball high with a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Drill down the left field line. That's going to get down. Fair ball, goes to the wall. On his way to second with a double is Ruff. That's a 1-out, 2-base hit for the Phillies here in the 8th. 8th hit of the ball game now for Philadelphia. It's the first hit the Phillies have had since the 5th inning, when it was Ruff who had an RBI single. Here's Kevin Franson. Fouled straight back, 0-1 on Franson.
Rondon's top fastball has gotten up to 99 miles an hour already here today. That was the last pitch that he just threw to Franson. Thank you, Xfinity.
And the 0-1. Cleveland a winner again today. They beat Texas.
They're rolling.
They are rolling indeed.
4 in a row for the Tribe. Can't make up any ground though, because the Tigers are matching them win for win.
Here's the 1-1. Soft line drive over the head of Peralta. That's a base hit. That'll get a run in. Here comes the throw to second. There's a play. Got him. Out at second base. Franson got a little greedy. Although it was a very close play, he thought he was safe.
They have 2 hits in this inning against Rondon, both on breaking balls. Franson goes down, gets a pretty good pitch, and tried to stretch that single into a double, but a very nice throw by Andy Dirks. And to Hernan Perez. Perez able to apply the tag quickly to get the out.
(7-4) on the putout. RBI for Franson. 12-4 ball game now. Strike called on John Mayberry Jr. One for 2 today for Mayberry. Single and a walk. He's also grounded out. Now the 0-1. Fastball at 97 paints the outside corner. 0-2.
Andy Dirks now has 7 assists really from that left field position.
That throw was on the money. And the 0-2. Fouled off. Rondon last year was the Tigers minor league pitcher of the year. He had 14 saves at Toledo this year. (40 strikeouts and a little over 29 innings of work. Missed it inside. Speaking of Toledo, Ivy Garcia homered last night for Toledo. Had a couple of walks as well. Castellanos had a big night, 3 for 5.
They needed a big night because the night before that they played that 20-inning game and they were 0 for 17 combined in that game they played.
Were they really?
They were. Castellanos was 0 for 8 and Garcia was 0 for 9.
One and 2. To right field. Kelly moving over. That'll end the inning. Phillies get a run on 2 hits. Andy Dirks with a fine throw to pick up an assist at second base.
Peralta connected for a grand slam. Tigers scored 8 runs in that frame. And the hit speed, 101.1 miles per hour. That ball left Johnny Peralta's bat.
Biggest hit of the game, and blew it wide open. Johnny Peralta's 4th career grand slam. And he'll bat second in this inning. Victor Martinez will be leading it off for the Tigers. 11 runs, making 12 runs on 11 hits for Detroit. 4 runs, 9 hits for the visitors. And look who's into the ball game.
Well, they needed to get him into a game. They got swept over in St. Louis, so he probably didn't pitch very much in that series. This is the first time we've seen him in this series, and they have a day off tomorrow. So Charlie Manuel somehow has to keep his closer fresh.
July 21st against the Mets was the last appearance for Papelbon. Victor leads it off. A couple of RBIs today for Martinez. 59 on the year now for Victor. Strike 1 on Victor Martinez. One ball and 1 strike. Papelbon is 32 years old now. "38 saves with the Phillies last year. He's had as many as 41 in a single season with the Red Sox. It's tapped foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Papelbon was a starter early on in his career in the minor leagues for the Red Sox. And then he started saving games full time back in 2006. Here's the 1-2. Rolled foul down the first base line. Here are the career numbers on Jonathan Papelbon.
277 saves, respectable ERA. Part of a couple of world championships with the Boston Red Sox.
Now the 1-2. Lifted back out of play again, so Martinez hanging in there against Papelbon.
Papelbon has blown 5 saves this year. It's the most he's blown in a season since 2010. So if you're looking for help as far as a reliever is concerned, he hasn't been great this season. A lot of folks out there had Papelbon simply changing locker rooms here when they came to Detroit.
Ball inside. A guy like Papelbon's going to cost you, though. 20 saves this year. Opponents batting .203 against him.
Tigers, the bullpen, have sorted itself out to the point where the Tigers don't have to overpay for anybody. Now, whether they go out and get a piece or two remains to be seen, but they don't have to overpay for anything.
Pulled into right field. That's a base hit for Martinez.
Quality at bat after quality at bat in the month of July for Victor Martinez. He is on some kind of roll right now. He goes down to the bottom of the zone with 2 strikes, doesn't try to do a whole lot, and serves it in the right field.
Tigers have another hit on the board now. That is their 12th of the game. And they lead 12-4. Here's Johnny Peralta. go foul.
Johnny going to have to get some more lumber.
Johnny hit a grand slam in the 6th. A 2-hit day today for Peralta. Tigers were squandering opportunities early in this game until they got 3 in the 5th and then busted open with 8 in the 6th inning.
Papelbon won 1 championship with the Boston Red Sox in 07. He was not on the team in 2004.
Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. That was Keith Folk in 04, wasn't it? As their closer. And then Papelbon a couple of years later. Breaking ball is in for a strike. 1-2 now on Johnny Peralta. Tigers enjoy a day off tomorrow. Washington comes in Tuesday and then Wednesday, and then the Tigers will be looking at another day off on Thursday.
Real nice pitching matchup on Tuesday. Steven Strasburg will get the ball for the Washington Nationals. And Anibal Sanchez will toe the rubber for the Tigers. Sanchez takes a back seat to nobody.
Strasburg is 5-8, but his ERA is 2.85 as you look at the upcoming calendar. And the White Sox come in before the Tigers go on the road for another long road trip. Cleveland, New York, Chicago on the next trip. There's Mr. Sanchez.
Tigers will take 2 trips to New York in the month of August. 3-game series with the Mets and a 3-game series against the Yankees.
Well, the Tigers right now have won 15 of their last 22. They lead comfortably here 12-4 in the 8th inning. And the 1-2. That's in the air. Shallow left field. Long run. And a catch for Sestorf. 1 out. Well, the Nationals were 98-64 last year. This season, 51-54.
8.5 games back.
Tigers faced the Nationals in Washington earlier this year.
And some of those offensive numbers at the bottom, runs per game and team batting average, is what got their hitting coach fired.
There's a strike called on Andy Dirks. Tigers leadoff man has been on base in 6 of the 8 innings in this game. Pulled to first, and as a fair ball hit the umpire. Martinez will go to second, stop there. And the Tigers have 2 aboard.
That cost Andy Dirks a double. And the Tigers having runners on second and third with 1 out. Jeff Kelly, and first base umpire, could not get out of the way. And Victor Martinez taking off from first base, and he realized the ball hit the umpire. He could see. And therefore, he didn't try to stretch it and get over to third.
Yet the Tigers have another hit, their 13th of the game, and the first of the afternoon for Andy. Here's Alex Avila. Where'd our sunshine go? Clouds now hovering over the ballpark. Lights turned on here at Comerica Park. Sunny day for the Tigers offensively, though. 12 runs on 13 hits, including an 8-run 6th. Wind is howling as well. Swing and a miss there by Avila, right through a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Let's hope summer's not over. If it is, it was a quick one this year.
I am starting to wonder. Dark clouds hovering over the yard. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Sevilla is out on strikes. Well, as soon as this game ends, our coverage continues. Tigers Live coming up. You'll hear from manager Jim Leland. The players will break down the game, show you all of the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Now Santiago. 3 hits in the game for Ramon. Ball 1. Santiago has also scored a couple of runs. Here's the 1-0 from Papelbon. It's low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Papelbon does not have the life on the fastball that he had when he was in Boston. His fastball got up to 97, 98 miles an hour. And he only gets to 93 these days. He also has that split-fingered fastball. He'll throw that about 20% of the time, and he's got a slider to go along with those 2 fastballs.
Here's the 2-0. That's in there, 2-1.
That's about it these days, coming out of Papelbon's hand. 90, 91, 92.
Phil Koch tuning up in the Detroit bullpen.
Day off tomorrow, day off Thursday. Jim Leland taking the luxury of getting all the relievers as much work as he possibly can the last couple of days. Albuquerque worked 2 yesterday. Reed also worked 1. It's hard to keep all your bullpen components fresh when your starters are staying out there for 7 innings every single evening.
It's a challenge.
It's a pleasant problem to have, though.
3-1 is a ball. He walked him. That's going to reload the bases for the Tigers, who seemingly had the bases loaded all day long.
Was that 9 free passes today given to the Tigers?
It is. 9 walks for Phillies pitching. There's Jackson. He has coaxed a couple of those. Talking about Papelbon's fastball, pretty much has been about 90 miles an hour in this game. Breaks one off, the breaking ball outside, 1-0.
Not nearly as many scouts in the ballpark this weekend as there has been the last week or so. Most scouts have already compiled all of their information, and they've all gone to their respective teams, and they're meeting with the general manager the next couple of days to see if there's a trade that can be worked out that makes sense for their team.
One ball, 1 strike.
Meanwhile, the Tigers are always really quiet leading up to the trade deadline. They don't talk a lot, but they always seem to make a move.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Second baseman Franson will flip to second for the force, and that'll end the inning. So we go to the 9th. Phillies 12-4 in favor of the Tigers here as they try and complete the sweep at Comerica Park of the Phils.
While we have a second here, let me show you our bell tire pitch by pitch. And it happened way back in the third inning. It was Miguel Cabrera in the batter's box, and he didn't appreciate the calls that Chad Fairchild was giving to the youngster Pettibone, their starting pitcher today. And he had some words for Fairchild after the second strike, and he got a quick hook here today. He threw him out of the game. Jim Leland came out to ask Chad Fairchild, what in the world you throw him out for? And he got to heave-ho himself.
Tigers able to play around that, though. They lead 12-4. They lost their manager, lost their third baseman for the day, but the rest of the offense picked it up. 13 hits for Detroit today. 3 more outs to get. Phil Koch coming on now for the Tigers. Lance Nix leading it off. Bottom 3 due up here for the Phillies in the 9th inning. First pitch is hit in the air towards center. Jackson moving over. 1 pitch, 1 out. Thirty-fourth appearance of the year for Koch. He's got 2 more outs to get. Catcher Carlos Ruiz stands in. And that's right at the knees, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Tigers are about to go to 16-8 here in the month of July. And 2 outs away from holding on to a 3-game lead on Cleveland in the Central Division. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Toward right field. Kelly going back. He's under it. A couple of fly ball outs, 2 away. It'll bring up Steve Susdorf. He is their final chance today. And Koch in search of the 1-2-3 inning to sweep the Phillies out of town. Susdorf has a double and a run scored. It was his first major league hit. It was back in the 5th inning.
He has some family here as well that were able to witness him getting his first major league hit. It's always a plus.
Popped up foul, back out of play. Susdorf was actually drafted by the Tigers back in 2007 in the 27th round, but did not sign with Detroit.
Told you earlier that he also attended Fresno State University, the same college that Doug Fister attended. So I'm sure Fister maybe gave him a little golf clap over there after he got his first major league hit.
Here's the 0-1 when nobody was looking. 0-2.
Mr. Fister is that kind of guy. From Merced, California. Did you know he runs marathons in the offseason?
I do, yeah. And he's an avid runner. He loves that kind of stuff. The 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I was talking to Doug a couple of days ago. He was saying, what you got planned for the offseason? You're going to go and need to travel? And he said, not a lot, not much. I'm going to run a marathon, though. A half a marathon this year. Which is what, 13? 13K, I guess is what they call it.
Here's the 1-2. Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Strike 3 to win the ball game. Phil Koch has a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Tigers, well, they sweep the Phillies out of town.
Well, they really know how to protect the home court advantage here at Cabrera Park. They are awesome in this yard.
Tigers another victory here at home. Their home record this year now 32-19. Convincing win here this afternoon. We'll be back